so. Ann Furkovich.
I'm really bell hooks, see?
If you could give me some quick input on what you think good storytelling is about, that'd be great.
Well, I think good storytelling is about voice and about nuanced detail. And I'm starting to sound like comments that I'm giving my students, so let me get out of this computer and concentrate. Okay, I think it's about voice and engagement. I mean, I think the most powerful thing about even like say Mark Twain is that he is someone who can capture a voice that is believable and authentic. It doesn't sound forced, and it sounds like you and the narrator or the speaker or the character are really one of the same mind. You know what I mean? That you're never, it's kind of like akin to drama, like what makes for interesting drama. I like to say to kids all the time, like there was a production of The Miracle Worker last year or a couple years ago, and they had bought this pump for the end scene where Helen and Annie Sullivan make the connection. And water means water, it has a name, it's the end. And Helen's like, oh my God, I finally understand. And so it's a really important scene. And so in this play, the student play, they had this pump that they obviously rented for the key scene. But the problem is they tacked onto the pump all of this plastic fake grass. So you're always keenly aware as you're watching this amazing scene that it isn't real. And there's this huge barrier between you and your engagement with the story, this fake grass. And to me, it's almost like, theatrically, it would have been better if no fake grass, they didn't even rent the damn pump, and it was just about the connection between Annie Sullivan and Helen Keller. And I think that the imagination could have done way more than, given good actresses and a decent performance, than any, fake rented pump, real rented pump and fake green grass could ever do. And so I think that, given that I'm a dramatist, I guess that would be my way of talking about storytelling, which, I was never really comfortable teaching fiction. So I was like, shit, I gotta teach fiction. I would always teach this creative writing class, and it was like the playwriting unit was like, like a 12-week class. It was like the playwriting unit was like 8 weeks, or 6 weeks, and poetry was 4 weeks, and fiction was 2 weeks. Because I never really dug it. I'm much more comfortable with the memoir as a genre. And so I think that given my bent as a playwright, I think the greatest way for me to make sense of what goes into great storytelling is the need for there to be no disbelief. That at no time is the reader or the listener or anyone, checking you out or figuring out whether it's real or not, or, disengaged in any way. So what creates disengagement? I don't know, but it has something to do with fake grass and rented pumps. And so in that way it could be, for some people, I guess, they disengage when they see a comma in the wrong place. That's not going to be me. But, where voice ceases to be authentic, that's probably more where I live. Where, a story seems false or forced or unreal, where things seem made up or things seem contrived or things seem pushed or things seem packed or things seem, it just really needs to be like an organic vegetable. Like I buy it, I get it, it's interesting, it grew out of the ground. And, I think, in terms of American storytelling, I think Mark Twain, I don't know, for some reason he's on my mind today, but I think he did, he was great. And I think too, it was almost like that engagement that he had with language was the same sort of thing as the twinkle in his eye. Whenever you see pictures, he has this little twinkle in his eye. And for somehow he could get that twinkle in his eye onto the page. And that is talent. To get your twinkle into words is brilliant. To get your sense of humor into words, brilliant. To get other people to laugh with you, or even to be comfortable with them laughing at you, you know, that's brilliant. And it's different than stand-up comedy, but you know, I think stand-up comedy has some of the same elements too, where, you know, you're looking at this guy and you're like, well, dude, you just memorized a joke in the green room, like, get off the stage, you know, next, you know. But people who can go off book and who can just, you know, go for it and go to town and tell a story and be, you know, hilarious and engaging, and it's not memorized, it's not forced. I think that that's the power of good storytelling, whether it's in words or it's oral.
Awesome, thank you.
You're welcome.